Hello and welcome back. We're going to be doing our top 10 players for Masters Tokyo. Looking back on Masters Madrid, it's actually kind of crazy. I think only 7 of all of the players on this list are even at this event. You're looking at Texture, Kang, and Something being the only returning players. Mini Boo's obviously an exception because of burnout, but very understandable, and everyone else just didn't even qualify, which is kind of wild. So we'll be having to build our list up from scratch. And to start with, we're going to look at all of the different teams who are even in this competition and pick out our top 2 or 3 players from each roster that we think even have a remote chance of making the list. So let's see if we can get them all together. So G2, it's got to be Leaf and Valen or Trent, but probably just, let's say, Leaf, and I think Valen's been having a really good time IGLing and has been generally popping off from what we would expect. Trent's been a bit quiet compared to expectations. Leviathan, Aspas is Aspas. Let's just do this now. Aspas is on the list. There's no question about it whatsoever. Beyond that point, you're looking at King, and then there's no one else really who's stepping up to the plate. It's all very much Aspas's shoulders, dropping crazy numbers and crazy statistics. FPX, I could throw Life on the list, but he's not going to make the top 10. So I'm not even going to bother with anyone from either of these teams. Fukushu and Life, I'm very sorry. You could maybe be on an honourable mentions list, but even then, with 12 teams, it's going to be close. Moving on to Heretics, who are now down a player, but I'm actually going to throw Riens and Benji Fishy and Wu all as potential candidates. I think Riens is a sleeper pick for this. He's played a phenomenal playoffs, and he was absolutely amazing in their games at Madrid, albeit they lost. But it was 2 very close games that they lost, and I think he had a hell of a showing. Foot. Yetajay's been performing insane, so I think it's got to be Yetajay, Cracks, and CNED. Seems reasonable. Presumably I've spelled that mostly right. No, there's an E in there. Genji, let's write Texture up here as well. He's going on the list. There's no question. That's done. But otherwise, maybe Munchkin has been playing well. Karen's obviously a beast at Madrid, but had a bit of a quieter split. Let's throw him in there, and let's see what we can do with that. T1. Maybe I could throw Saya in. Izu, Excurate. I'll throw Saya on the list, but I think he's gonna get knocked off. Great storyline, him versus the old the guard core starting us off. And then we've got our playoffs teams who I expect to perform a few more of this list. 100 Thieves. Oh, we've got to throw on Cryo, Bang, and maybe Asuna. Cryo, Bang, Asuna I think is probably the top 3. EU, Bang, and Asuna, you could probably take any of them. I'll throw EU on there as well. EDG. How has EDG been looking? Let's see what the stats are like. EDG, Chichu, nobody, everyone popping off. What about just the playoffs when they're playing the good teams? Smoggy, Howdong, Kang, nobody. Chichu, where is Chichu? Oh, there's no rating stat. What? What is it? What are they being ranked on? I guess I can do that, but it's a bit of a messy stat. Well, that complicates things. There's no actual rating for them. I mean, of the eye test, Chi and Kang are clearly the two best players on that roster, so I'm going to have to throw them on. Fnatic. Well, let's just write Leo up here. Maybe I'm biased, but I absolutely dragged them kicking and screaming through that entire playoff bracket, to be honest. That was an unreal performance. I think Boaster and Chronicles have been playing okay, but Durka and Alpha are your next two. And then I'm almost tempted just to write the entire Paper X team down. It's an absolutely ludicrous roster. Jing, Mindfreak, Forsaken, Devi, and something. I mean, well, you've obviously got Jing, you've obviously got Forsaken, you've obviously got something, you've obviously got Devi, and I feel like you even have to put Mindfreak down with how well he's been playing. I mean, let's just make sure I'm not making that up. Something, Devi, Jing, Mindfreak, Forsaken. They're all. I mean, that's what 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them are in the top 14 players in all of APAC. That's unbelievable. That's ridiculous. What about in playoffs? How well did they do in playoffs? Obviously, they won, so their stats will be boosted. But yeah, I mean, again, literally all of the top 3. They even beat out Texture after that ludicrous grand finals performance. And then Forsaken and Mindfreak, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all of them in the top 10. I mean, yeah, you can't. You just put them all on there as considerations. Now, this is where it gets tough. Who here on this list is a certain to go up there? I think Cryo has to go up. He's been a monster. It's unquestionable. I feel like I want to throw maybe both of these up there, but I'm not certain about any of these people. I mean, Jing and Devi have got to go on the list. There's no question. Okay, that's sort of the obvious ones. I mean, you could make an argument for any of these 3, but I'll start with Jing and Devi. They were, something. Do I put something on it as a definite? Oh God, if I do that, that leaves 4 spaces. No, it doesn't. It leaves 3 spaces for all of these players. That seems so ridiculous. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Okay. Who can we eliminate? Who can we eliminate? Let's think about this. I'm sorry, Valen, you're going. IGL, no bonuses. No pity. You're gone. Who else? Sire, I'm sorry. T1, frankly, shouldn't be in. If Genji hadn't choked, we'd have DRX instead of T1, in my opinion. Then we've got Chi and Kang. I don't think the Chinese teams are gonna make a dent. I think they're gone. They're gone. It's wild. So of my players on VCT Madrid who are here, at least one of them isn't even going to be on my list. Currently, Texture's the only one who's made it. Now, of the 3 players from Heretics, people would say Woot, but I'm going to show you something, which is EMEA. People look at the stats, everyone goes, oh, where's Riens? Riens, he's all the way down here. But if you put it in the playoffs, when they're against the good teams, there is Riens, up here. And if I go to Madrid and I go to stats, look who's there at number 5 on the list after going out 0-2. I think Riens has got to be kept over Woot, and then it's Benji Fishy over Woot as well. I think Woot is gone. Really promising young rookie. Maybe it's his breakout tournament. I don't know. Who else can go? Durkee. I'm sorry, Durkee. You haven't been. You won this tournament, and only Alpha and Leo. You know, Chronicle's even above you statistically. No, no, Durkee, you're gone. Now, let's get down to. Let's see the foot players. Right, I'm just wrong. Apparently, Mr. Fallon should be on this list. CNED. And then you're getting right the way down here before you get cracks. I feel like Yesterday deserves at least an honourable mention. Maybe Mr. Fallon goes on the list. I'm doing this backwards. I'm supposed to be cutting this short. Oh no, we're gonna have to speed up. Oh god. Leaf, I'm sorry, you're gone. I don't have faith in G2 as much as I love that old god core. Leaf wasn't on it, so I don't feel that's bad. How's Caron looked in APAC? Oh, sorry, China. It's not your time. Caron, he hasn't even been their best player, other than Texture. I mean, Texture's so clearly above the other two. I think Caron's gone, which is a shame. Beast at Madrid. Maybe it's a honeymoon period. Right, come on. I think some of these people have to go. Who's been the best in Americas? What made them the best? Right, you got Cryo, EU, and Bang have been better than Asuna, but in the playoffs, the issue with the playoffs is I've got to exclude the grand final because they've been playing on so after a 6-hour tournament, EU, then Asuna. So let's get rid of Asuna and Bang. That's them gone. God, what am I doing? Yetajay. Oh, we're gonna have to make an honourable mentions list for the rest of these fellas. I'm not an American, so that goes there. And then I'm gonna put Rian's on the list. I think it's wild, but I think he seems to come out when the pressure's highest. So he's going on the list. I think that leaves me with 2 spaces. 2 spaces. We got 4 players from APAC. We've currently got 2 from EMEA and 2 from NA. Do I think that's how the balance is? I mean, mostly. I think Munchkin, you got to go. Forsaken and Mindfreak. God, it feels like a crime not to put Forsaken on the top 10 list. But I think I've got to do it. I think Alpha's got to go on. And I think EU's got to go on. I think I've got to throw EU on there. And that leaves, and let's be honest, Mr. Fallon. What about the whole stage? Who takes it for Mr. Fallon versus CNED? CNED takes it by decent ways. Now, obviously, duelist bias, right? And if he's getting those stats against the weaker teams when they're beaten up on the easy targets, I don't know. We got to put Charles Neddington on at least on the honourable mentions list, which leaves this as our roster. So our honourable mentions, but not on the list, we have King, Benji Fishy, CNED, and Forsaken. I think as a 5-man roster, that would do a lot of damage. Actually, you got your Smokes, your Initiators, Sentinel, yeah. Just sign them, and that means I'm now going to order these players, which is impossible. I mean, I just want to show you this. This is Leo's stats. He's 1.45 KD and 1.24 rating. And even over the whole season where Fnatic looked dubious, he's still crazy high. So, but then you get to find out that Aspas is, which means Aspas Leo is my clear 1 and 2. Leo bias. I would like to put Leo number 1, but I just don't think I can do it. Damn. Oh, texture versus something. I'm gonna go rogue. I think I'm gonna put something above texture, and I'm actually gonna put cryo. Does that make sense? Is texture the fourth best jet at this event? It might be. It might be. God, it seems wild to be saying that, but I think I'm gonna stick with that. Which means that we then have Jing and Devai, who, let's be honest, I'm happy with them in that position. Then do I like this order? Rien's above EU above Alpha? Yeah, I think this is going to be it, right? Let's do that. So that is my Masters Madrid top 10 players list. I'll read it all out in 1 second. And there we go. In 10th, Alpha, yeah. In 9th, EU. In 8th, Rien's. In 7th, Devai. In 6th, Jing. In 5th, Texture. 4th, Cryo. 3rd, Something. In 2nd place, we have Leo, which means the best player in the world going into Masters Tokyo, according to me, is the one and only Aspas. Thank you very much for watching.